what is going on? She's just deleted her Twitter. She's getting called out because it was exposed, because an interview got
Following Caitlin Clark's widespread emergence, the Indiana Fever president now confronts heightened league scrutiny. Public sentiment is increasingly stirred, with critical observations growing more intense by the hour.
I'm not joking when I say this. Something's gone weirdly wrong. Like, we literally hired a freaking chronically online.
However, this situation extends beyond a lone press conference or a viral clip. The underlying dynamics are considerably more nuanced. We are here to uncover the full scope.
I have said before, and I will say it again, Stephanie White, Amber Cox, Kelly Crosscroft, the Indiana Fever president, they were not ready. Now, Christine Brennan in her book confirmed the WNBA and the Indiana Fever did not realize what they were about to get themselves into with drafting Caitlin Clark, because the popularity they weren't prepared for and didn't see.
Caitlin Clark's supporters voiced considerable discontent following what they perceived as a significant misstep by the Indiana Fever's leadership. The team president appeared to misjudge the rookie's profound impact, despite her undeniable role in dramatically boosting arena attendance and WNBA viewership. Kelly Kruskov's Apple comparison, widely viewed as insensitive, suggested Clark was merely an accessory rather than the core innovation, deeply unsettling her devoted fan base. It's undeniable that Clark drives the Fever's current relevance, attracting extensive national attention and propelling merchandise sales. However, team officials seemed more inclined to moderate her influence than to fully embrace it, sparking widespread fan disapproval. Social media users swiftly condemned the remarks as a direct demonstration of disregard. Subsequently, Kruskov's online presence abruptly ceased. Her former account disappeared without explanation or apology. This quick withdrawal, perhaps in an attempt to defuse the escalating backlash, was ultimately insufficient. The indelible memory of the internet and the team's dedicated followers ensures lasting recollection.
Yes, Stephanie White, every single solitary move that you make is going to be scrutinized. Welcome to it.
The swift deletion of social media accounts often signals pressure during public contention. This occurred with Fever president Kelly Krauskopf following her now infamous Apple analogy, which circulated widely, but not as intended. Public response was immediate. Clark's advocates quickly challenged Krauskopf's attempt to liken the WNBA's primary catalyst to a mere product, an analogy that landed poorly. By Friday evening, her digital footprint was gone, a silent retreat devoid of context or reconciliation, whose quiet departure spoke louder than any public statement. Fan sentiment transitioned from mere disappointment to profound indignation, particularly among loyal season ticket holders who felt underserved after years of dedication through less successful periods. They perceived the front office as failing to adequately leverage a pivotal moment. This further compounded concerns following prolonged silence regarding Clark's physical treatment on court, where referees frequently seemed to overlook aggressive play. The president's subsequent branding emphasis rather than direct value acknowledgement solidified fan skepticism, transforming a PR misstep into a fundamental trust deficit. This set the stage for Sophie Cunningham's subsequent statement. If you believe Clark faces targeted treatment, consider engaging. If officiating appears inconsistent, share your thoughts. Stay informed as dynamics continue to unfold.
If I was a ref, I know I would mess up all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that your job is easy, but when it is a simple call right in front of your face multiple times, what are you doing?
In San Francisco tomorrow, you're on the Las Vegas Strip. What can the Las Vegas expect from Sophie?
Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna be me. I don't go in there trying to predetermine anything. I'm dialed in. I need to focus on hitting my shots, making sure I'm executing the schemes right. I'm not focused on the extracurricular activities. And you know what? During that, it was just part of the game. I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting, the star player of the WNBA. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. And I'm a team player, so it's all good.
Sophie Cunningham has emerged as a vocal advocate for Caitlin Clark, embodying a defiant stance against aggressive play. Her recent commentary significantly stirred the league. On her podcast, Show Me Something, Sophie delivered a fervent, unreserved address, likened to dramatic television. She directed her criticisms broadly, particularly at those perceived to diminish Clark's influence within the league, bluntly reiterating her points multiple times. The segment quickly gained traction across social platforms, becoming a notable phrase, indicating Cunningham's strategic intent. Her actions extend beyond words. She recently delivered a forceful body check against a Connecticut Sun player in response to Clark being elbowed, accepting her ejection as a commitment to teammate defense. The situation grew more intricate when Sophie broadened her focus beyond opponents and officiating, addressing internal issues within the Indiana Fever. She suggested that underlying resentment toward Clark originates within the team's locker room, leading some close to the organization to view her podcast as a stark challenge to internal harmony. This aligns with existing fan observations of tension, reflecting a common WNBA dynamic between veteran players and sudden stars, now visibly intensifying within Indiana. Cunningham's intent appears not to pacify, but to disrupt prevailing narrative.
It wasn't a dirty play. It was an intentional foul, and it was meant to send a message. It turned into a scuffle, and I don't think anybody wanted that. But the way that the game went and how egregious the referees were and how they were not protecting players, and they especially weren't protecting the #1 player in this league, the biggest draw in this league, which is Caitlin Clark, and they continue to not do that. To me, this was not a dirty play. This was making a statement because the referees didn't do their damn job. This would not have happened at the end of the game if the referees did their job during the first play. If the referees did their job, I'm sorry, not just the first play, every single play leading up to that. If the referees had control of the game, that is their only job. The referees' first job, their #1 job, is to protect their players.
Like, I get it to a certain extent, and like every rookie coming into the league, that's how you're going to treat them.
However, the dynamics at play regarding her are multifaceted. While a certain level of physicality is expected for newcomers, the situation surrounding Caitlin Clark appears distinct. On-court interactions often involve aggressive contact, elbows, body checks, eye pokes, frequently overlooked by officials. Such incidents involving NBA stars like Steph Curry or LeBron James would trigger immediate league interventions and public discussions. Yet, in Clark's case, contentious plays often persist unaddressed. Recalling the May 24th Fever Liberty game, Natasha Cloud's forceful shoulder-to-shoulder collision with Clark during a critical two-point moment drew no whistle. Clark's unspoken gesture of disbelief, contrasted with the Liberty celebration, underscored the disparity. Sophie Cunningham powerfully articulated this sentiment, lamenting the recurring pattern. Her assessment highlights an undeniable double standard. What is presented as robust defense often functions as targeted disruption. Some opposing players tacitly acknowledge this approach, phrasing it as making her earn it, which subtly implies subduing her before her influence fully consolidates. Clark, however, demonstrates resilience, refusing to be subdued by what some perceive as an initiation rite. In moments where referees hesitate, Cunningham vocally champions her both physically and through public platforms. This extends beyond isolated calls, suggesting a more systemic pattern, leading some to question if deeper motives are at play. This situation transcends simple basketball commentary. If you're following this narrative, consider sharing your perspective and staying informed as these developments evolve.
If we want to sustain the growth and interest level in the franchise, I mean, this is about the Indiana Fever. Yes, we have a foundational player in Caitlin Clark and Leah Boston, and we're going to continue to add to that. But I want this team to be the leader in the country, and a brand, an enduring brand, like Apple or something. I mean, we have a real.
Behind the Indiana Fever's public image, deep internal discord has surfaced, moving beyond mere public relations. One faction, represented by leadership, seeks to position the team as a refined Apple-like brand. Conversely, players, fans, and even rival coaches widely recognize that Caitlin Clark effectively is the brand. Tensions escalated when President Kelly Kroskov's efforts to temper Clark's perceived dominance met resistance. Sophie Cunningham not only disagreed but vehemently challenged her own organization. This was no spontaneous reaction. Insiders suggest Cunningham's podcast commentary was a carefully orchestrated counter-narrative, strategically delivered after the president's controversial statements. Sophie went beyond general league critiques, openly confronting her front office with specific grievances. This signals not just irritation, but a direct challenge to authority, exposing a profound identity crisis within the franchise. Despite possessing a central figure, the Fever leadership appears to be navigating its future uncertainly. Rather than embracing Clark's impact, they seem to perceive her as an unsettling force. The team now appears polarized. Some view Clark as the inevitable future, while others remain tied to established power structures. This division is evident to discerning fans, and figures like Sophie, and Kroskov's withdrawn social media presence remains a tangible marker of the controversy.
What the WNBA is doing with Caitlin Clark is the equivalent of the NBA doing this to Michael Jordan in 1986. It just doesn't make sense to me. You are biting the hand that feeds you. Mind you, without Caitlin...
Were an NBA icon like LeBron James to be repeatedly subjected to rough play, the reaction would be immediate and extensive. Yet, Caitlin Clark frequently encounters aggressive contact on court with a notable lack of intervention. Envision Steph Curry enduring relentless physical challenges without protection. Such disregard would be unthinkable in the NBA. This stark contrast, however, defines Clark's current experience. Far from a mere newcomer, she is the undeniable catalyst for unprecedented viewership and packed arenas in women's basketball, a vital economic engine. Despite this, her treatment often belies her significance. Sophie Cunningham articulated this precisely as unacceptable. Coach Stephanie White, too, publicly criticized officials for their consistent inaction. While fans and media widely acknowledge these discrepancies, the league's official stance remains largely unspoken. The uncomfortable truth emerges. If Clark were a male player, the league's response would likely be vastly different. Instead, even her own team's leadership has shown limited resolve, allowing her to be physically challenged. Sophie and the fanbase champion her cause. Yet, some key stakeholders appear preoccupied with internal politics. Clark represents more than the future. Her impact is already profound. The established guard, seemingly unprepared for such rapid change, faces a crucial moment of adaptation. This isn't merely a disagreement, but a transformative period. The WNBA leadership and the Fever risk mismanaging an extraordinary opportunity, though Clark's influence is immutable. Sophie Cunningham steadfastly emphasizes the need to actively support her, and indeed, further developments could dramatically alter the landscape. To contribute your voice, consider engaging with ongoing discussions. This merely marks the onset of a significant transformation. As this narrative unfolds, it's clear the situation around the team, its leadership, and broader league responses signifies more than isolated events. It mirrors the inherent challenges of a sport entering an intensified era of visibility, scrutiny, and expectation. When a league experiences rapid ascension, expanded audiences, and an unparalleled surge of excitement, not all are immediately equipped for the accompanying pressures. We are observing an organization, its supporters, and an entire league adapting to an unprecedented spotlight, a transition that is seldom seamless. Throughout this journey, the unwavering dedication of fans and players propels the sport forward. Every debate, disagreement, viral exchange, and unexpected twist illuminates the profound commitment to the game's evolution, presentation, and safeguarding. These tensions, while demanding, are indicators of progress. They prompt teams to self-assess, leaders to refine communication, and the league to fortify its foundational structures for what lies ahead. Each conflict presents an opportunity for advancement, with current dialogues likely shaping the sport's trajectory for years. As diverse perspectives clash across platforms, the shared investment in the game's ongoing development becomes ever more apparent. Emotional responses, firm opinions, and rigorous examination are hallmarks of a league undergoing real-time expansion. Growth is inherently uneven, requiring change, patience, and a willingness to confront discomfort. These moments, even under duress, highlight areas for adjustment and reinforce. The bond among athletes, supporters, and the public has never been stronger, driving a powerful shift in women's sports. Amidst the clamor, the essence remains the game itself, the competition, skill, strategy, and player dedication that continually captivate audiences. Regardless of off-court dynamics, the true evolution unfolds on the court. Teams continue to adjust, players continue to excel, and the league forges an identity of increasing confidence, visibility, and unity. Today's challenges lay the groundwork for tomorrow's triumphs, with every on-court moment contributing to an enduring legacy. This segment may conclude, yet the overarching story is far from over. Future developments, new performances, reactions, and surprises will continue to shape the narrative. A league in constant motion is one that resists stagnation, and the current momentum is merely the prologue. To remain integral to this burgeoning wave, continue to observe, engage, and share your perspective. The next pivotal moment could arrive at any time, and this season's evolution is accelerating. The journey has just begun, and upcoming events may reshape our current understanding. For clear, consistent updates, engage with our content. If you found this insightful, express your support and share your thoughts. Subscribe and enable notifications for future updates. Stay connected, stay informed, as more significant stories are on the horizon.